Snack time. Hello Snack Pack, welcome back to Travel Snacks. Today's episode is all about me seeing a goat giving birth in Alabama. If you guys watched this video, you'll see that there was a goat that just happened to be giving birth right behind my van. I had such a hard time deciding if I was going to release this video or not. I went back and forth. I prayed about it. I asked the Snack Pack in our live stream, and most people said that they would like to see it even if it doesn't have a great ending. I want to give you the names of the characters as I've named them. The mother giving birth, I'm going to call Little Mama. The baby that is born, I'm going to call Lil Poptart. Lil Mama's mom, Petunia. And I'm going to call Lil Mama's baby daddy, Onyx, which I don't even know if it's a boy goat or if that's the baby daddy. But when Lil Poptart comes out, she sure does look like Onyx, just saying. I'm just gonna give you a spoiler at the end. Lil Poptart doesn't make it, but you never see Lil Poptart dead. Please do not leave any comments of how dare I post this video. Don't come for me in the comments because I did the best I can. Or you should have done this. I don't know anything about goats. I didn't know exactly what to do. And God bless Lil Poptart. I am not a goat herder. Rest in peace. I know it can feel sad, but watch this in the same way you'd watch a National Geographic. So with all that being said, let's get on to the story. So I'm just over here editing, and here come the goats. This guy right there, just outside the window. All the goats were coming towards my van, and what they usually do is they circle around the island. Hey guys. They had just happened to get to my area where I was parked, and they graze a little bit and then they move on. But this particular goat was kind of just staying in one spot. Hey, buddy. What's up? What's up? How's it going? I like your beard. He's so unbothered by me. And as the herd left, she was having a full-on bang conversation with another goat. I thought that was funny, so I just walked over to her with my phone and was just going to make a little Instagram video. But then as she turned around, I noticed something coming out of her hind parts, and I was like, what is this? And then she started to kind of squat, and I was like, is she about to poop right in front of me? The more she was panting and squatting, I was like, oh shoot, she is in labor. And I went into full-on Travel Snack Geographic, and I was like, let me go back to the van and get my camera. This is going to be a great video. So here, Lil Mama is just calling out for whoever will listen, and I got my camera just in time for her mom, Petunia, to come into the picture. Not only Petunia, but the baby daddy, Onyx. Once Petunia realizes that Onyx is also coming to be by Lil Mama, she's like, I got this, and he's like, no, I want to be there too. So they get into a bit of a dominance struggle. Little Mama's like, could y'all stop fighting? I am so uncomfortable. I'm about to give birth to this little kid. And I mean kid because it's called a kid, and the process of giving birth is called kidding. No kidding. But then Onyx comes over to me and he starts rubbing his head all over my leg, and I'm like, what is this goat doing? I'm like, is he gonna bite me? Is he trying to push me away? What's going on? I read later that when goats do this, they are basically letting you know that they recognize you as the dominant in the situation. So I guess that's good. But it did make me feel uncomfortable to have two goats butting heads so closely to me. So I stood back just enough. This tussle and labor continued on for quite a while. And then here comes the old wise goat. I don't know if this is like the leader of the goat pack, but he comes through and he's like, listen, y'all, there should be no fighting on this glorious event. So he's like, let's take it over to another area if you guys want to duke it out. But let Lil Mama labor in peace. Onyx says, fine. I'll meet you over here, Petunia. And they continue to headbutt. Now at this point, Lil Mama's like, you guys, I'm gonna stand up. I'm not doing this anymore. And you guys are just irritating me so much. And the old wise goat is like, can y'all just get along? And they're like, no. And so they continue to duke it out. Right behind my van, I might add. While the struggle for dominance continues, Lil Mama is active in labor, and all of a sudden you see this fat water pouch just coming out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so gross, but also I guess this is part of labor. And I was like, ugh, yuck. She is clearly uncomfortable, and she's just trying to get this thing out. She is really uncomfortable with this sack of water coming out, and finally, after much pushing, her water breaks. And now the labor is about to advance pretty quickly, but these two are still at it, going stronger than ever, trying to establish who is the boss of this situation. She's doing her best, but this goat is just not coming out. Animals instinctively know how to give birth, so they go through a series of laying, sitting, squatting, and standing up. So I guess at this point, Lil Mama felt like it might give her some relief to crawl, crouch, or just simply lay down in a different position. Lil Mama is struggling really hard to get this baby out, but it is not budging. And I think this possibly is too long to be in labor. Lil Mama is really struggling, and this baby looks to be stuck. Come on, you can do it. Push. Push, push, push. Now at this point in the story, I see a truck pull up, and I realize that it's the caretaker or the groundskeeper of Jackson Lake Island. So he comes up and he's like, did she just go into labor? And I was like, yeah, she's been in labor for at least a good 30 to 45 minutes. So we kind of stand there and just wait it out and see what happens with Lil Mama. She is really trying to push hard to get this baby out, but it's just not budging. So she stands up again, which I think halts the labor and kind of keeps the baby stuck in the opening a little too long. She finally lays back down, but the groundskeeper is talking to me and asking me a bunch of questions about my journey. I think she might be having a problem.
She just had a problem.
But at this point, I'm like, oh, hold on, I gotta focus on this. And so she has the baby. It's a girl!
Is that? Is that?
Oh, no. Oh. So although it was great for Lil Poptart to finally arrive, she arrived in a pretty rough state. The reason I call her Lil Poptart is because she popped out real strong, but then it has a sour ending. Let's continue. So once Lil Poptart was born, Lil Mama starts licking all the goo off and starts cleaning her up. But because she had such a rough start, the groundskeeper decided to clean her off a little bit more and try to get some of the fluid out of her mouth. Also, he wanted to put her a little more in the sun so she wouldn't be so cold. It is a pretty windy day, and Lil Poptart is really struggling and really trying to keep her head up and take her first steps. She's just too weak. Lil Mama continues to clean off Lil Poptart for quite a while, but she's just unsure of what to do, and she's just looking around for any help she can get. Come on, you can do it. There you go. There we go. Come on, little one. The groundskeeper tries to get Lil Poptart to stand up because it's really important to get the milk from Lil Mama right away. But again, she's just too weak.
Clean the face, clean the face.
She's not looking too hot, but there's still signs of life, so I'm rooting for her.
Okay, Mel. Nice to meet you.
You too.
We'll see tomorrow. I gotta go home.
Yeah. Good job, Mom. Good job, Mom. Come on, you can do it. I know you're tired. Come on, you can do it. Lil Mama is trying to do everything she can to get Lil Poptart going. She starts scratching at the ground, starts nudging, and continues to make low guttural sounds to encourage Lil Poptart to get up and walk. Come on, you can do it. But she just can't get Lil Poptart to stand and get close enough to get the milk. She just doesn't know what to do. There you go. There you go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Come on now. Keep fighting. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. This goes on for quite a while, at least an hour, and so I tried to stay out of it because animals need to be able to do what they need to do, but it was heartbreaking to watch because I was really rooting for and praying for Lil Poptart. So I ran to my van and got an old towel and wanted to just dry Lil Poptart off a little bit more and try to warm her up just a little bit. You can see what a fighter Lil Poptart is, and she really tried to keep standing up and keep trying to walk, but there was just something that would not allow her to fully do it. Now, you might be asking yourself, why didn't you try to pick up Lil Poptart and put her towards the mother's teat to drink the milk. Well, number one, I'm not a goat deliverer, and I really didn't know that that's what needed to happen. And second of all, I didn't know if I could get close enough because every time I walked close to Lil Poptart, Lil Mama would walk away. And third, I didn't want to fully pick up Lil Poptart because I didn't know if I would do any damage to the internal organs or if she had a broken leg or something. I just wasn't sure, and kidding is not my full-time job, so I didn't really know exactly what to do. Come on, you go! Come on, no, don't get tired. Keep going, you can do it. Yes! Gotta crawl before you can walk. Come on now. No, don't put your head down. Lil Poptart, come on. Oh, no. There we go. It's not nap time. Come on now. You can do it. There you go. The struggle continued for such a long time that the goat herd came around the island again, and I was like, whoa, are they coming after me? Are they mad that I'm even involved in this goat birth? And I started to back up because I did not know what these goats were about to do to me. But they were just trying to get past, and Onyx came back, and I think he wanted to rub his head against my leg again, but I was like, nah bro, I'm not doing that. Oh boy. Bro, I ain't got nothing for you. So I just kind of stood back and waited for them to pass. Then I went back over to Lil Mama and Lil Poptart, who was still really trying to survive and stand up and get her first steps. I was praying so hard for Lil Poptart, but at this point I could tell that she was getting weaker and weaker. So I got my towel and I just wanted to maybe give her a little nudge, rub her, and keep her a little more warm. I just really felt helpless, but I wanted to do something. At this point, it had been about 3 hours since Lil Mama gave birth, and all of a sudden, I see a truck pull up, and it's the owners of the island, and I was like, thank God. So they came running down and swooped up Lil Poptart, then they kind of took over.
Come on, let me see if I can get some food for her. Come on.
At this point, they wanted to get some milk into Lil Poptart, so they were trying to get Lil Mama, which I learned is not an easy feat.
You got to get that colostrum food.
What kind of food do they like? Any? Because I got bread.
You got bread,
Yeah.
crackers, cereal.
Yep, got all that.
Come on.
So in order to get Lil Mama close enough to grab her horn so that the owners could milk her, we had to attract her with some food. So if you know me, I got all kinds of snacks in my van. So I ran and got some crackers. Well, as soon as I grabbed those crackers, all the goat herd started coming towards me, and they were jumping on me and scratching me and just getting all in my face. They were aggressive. They were standing on tables and just trying to get the crackers as best they can. So I gave some of the crackers to the owners, and I held some crackers so I could keep most of the goats near me and they could get some of the crackers to Lil Mama. This went on for quite a while, and finally they were able to grab the horns of Lil Mama.
Hold on. She ain't got energy to suck.
I can't even get any milk to come out.
There it is.
Yeah. She's not even drinking what lands in her mouth.
It may be too late. All we gotta do is just get a little bit down.
I don't think she's going to make it. She's just letting it sit in her mouth, and I'm... Come on.
Blow in her face real quick.
See that stream I'm
Yeah,
getting?
I see it. That's, if she could just get a little bit of that, if it's that, it may be something else. I'm gonna let her go. She's not gonna make it.
Poor little thing.
She's got a little fire left in her.
Yeah, she tried.
Yeah.
She kept trying to stand up for a long time. Oh.
Okay, come on back, Mama.
Come on back, Lil Mama. Poor Lil Poptart was just so weak that she couldn't even swallow the milk. And at this point, because of all the commotion with all the other goats, Lil Mama was scared off. This was another heartbreaking moment because she walked far enough away to be away from us, but also she kept calling out for her baby. From the time I noticed Lil Mama going into labor and the time the owners took Lil Poptart to their house was a span of about 4 hours. So after all that, the owners took Lil Poptart over to their house, and they sent me a text a little later that night with a picture of Poptart under the red light trying to stay warm. That night I just felt kind of depressed and sad because I know Lil Poptart tried so hard to fight to stay alive. So the next morning I got up and I was kind of cleaning out my van, and the owners pulled up in their truck. Well, as soon as they got out of the truck and I saw their faces, I knew that it wasn't going to be great news. And I was like, oh no, Lil Poptart. Lil Poptart fought until about 3:30 in the morning, and at that point she wasn't breathing and the heartbeat had stopped. And it really affected me. I felt so sad the rest of the day. It just really made me think about, we all expect everything to always go our way and to always have great endings, and life is just not like that. Rest in peace, Lil Poptart. Moment of silence. I don't want to leave this video on a sour note. I'm going to leave you with a bunch of other cute baby goats. And just remember to count your blessings and be grateful for what you do have. Bye for now.